Students frequently ask me, what materials should I use if I don't like the course books? Why is the teacher always talking and explaining? Where and how can I practice what I learned in school? If I didn't go to class, did I miss everything I could learn? Why do we have to buy expensive English books that we hardly ever finished? Why am I asked to speak, read, and write in class, but my exams are always grammar? And as a teacher, I wonder, why does the educational model emphasize skill, but my performance and my students are evaluated with a standardized grammar test? Why is knowledge segmented and training fields are divided when a holistic vision of education is requested? If you're asked to use a communicative approach to face activities, why an evaluation indicator other than a simple number is not made? How can I be sure that the skill I intend to work on is really addressed and that this is what is evaluated? How to verify that the proposed and planned activities match the needs and level of the students? Hello, everyone. This is Israel Camarillo, Madrid, speaking. And this is my video presentation about a pedagogical intervention proposal called Transversal Approach of Activities in Middle High Education with emphasis on the vertical similarity of linguistic content.
I am very sorry, teacher, but I didn't understand anything. Could you explain it to me?
Okay, of course, and it is a pleasure. What was done, in simple words, was to rethink why the topics that are addressed through all the formative process in high school have to be carried out in the same way and sequence as the level descriptors of the common European framework. And not only that, why not address topics with grammatical similarities but different verb tenses at the same time? I'm referring to topics such as the simple past and simple present, the past continuous and the present continuous. Why do we have to work with the present in the first semester, the past in second, and the future in the third, and so on, when the only thing that changes between them are, in some ways, the auxiliary verbs? I am sorry for presenting these doubts, but I wasn't trained as an English teacher. That is why I entered the specialty at UPN. But I had always wondered why to focus on one skill or another, and why not to work on the language as a whole? Even more, why not changing the concept of language exclusively for communication purposes? And let's present it as a beautiful opportunity to acquire experiences and knowledge too. I dared to try this with my students. First, I had to study the plans and programs and make a list of all the topics and adapt them to a different proposal. After establishing goals and objectives, I developed a planning format different from the standardized one, and finally, I established times. Here we pause. We only work with the students 3 hours a week, and they are groups of about 50 students. Uh, by the time I call roll and check homework, the first hour is over. What can we do? Well, we can start by using a different method, and it was decided to use flipped classroom. 3 pre-class activities and 1 follow-up after the face-to-face sessions. This worked very well, but not until changes were made and the students saw that what they learned by themselves by watching videos and doing activities at home or free time from school was useful for activities in the classroom. Now, the problem was how to use an instrument that will help us in all the skills that had a sensorial input and that was based on the experience and knowledge of the students. Schema theory. Schema is knowledge about the topic that individuals have already acquired through various experiences. With this intention, work began on graphic organizers, especially on conceptual maps that will allow having everything to facilitate the participation of students, elaboration of sentences, and that will minimize the use of translators. With all this, we started to work on the affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms of the past and present continuous, obtaining wonderful results. By the way, a transversal topic was used in all the activities, and this corresponds to interculturality, with a special emphasis on gender equity, on which specific cases were discussed, such as Malala Yousafzai and Asser Malik, currently married, but with very different stories due to gender issues. The students ended up making a script and a subsequent video to talk about these issues, but previously they have already made another one talking about themselves, describing photographs of their past and present. Finally, TOEFL type tests of listening, reading, and grammar were carried out, but items with the specific characteristics by topic couldn't be found, so they had to be made, taking care of validity by preserving the characteristics of the standardized test, but the level with which it works. The results were surprising. Only 33 students out of 41, that was the final number of students, decided to take it. From that, 19 of them had between 0 and 5 mistakes, and 10 had more than 15 mistakes, and only 4 didn't answer anything and have no materials or activities also, which is 57% reach the goal, 30% are in progress, and 13% didn't make it. In a standardized type evaluation, getting 87% of your students approved is wonderful, but the work was exhaustive. These are some examples of the work done. Question 5.
I couldn't find the children in the park. Do you know where they were hiding?
Oh, the children were hiding under the tree.
Where were the children hiding?
Hi, my name is Cecilia Hernandez Serrano. I am from San Agustin, Clasiaca. I'm 15 years old. I like to music and watching movies. My address is Avenida Miguel Hidalgo, sin número, Barrio Fresno. My number phone is 77 51 58 1843.
I
I was working on my walker. I was playing with a bat.
I was studying in kindergarten. I was baking. I'm happy. I was living in Tula.